The NBA playoffs are officially here, people. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the playoffs. Welcome to the playoff show. The Hoops Pod NBA are covering the playoff show. Um, King, Justin, you guys ready? It's gonna be a wild 2 months. It's gonna be interesting. How you guys doing? Everything okay?
All good over here, all good. Ready to talk the play-in.
Yeah, I hear you. Justin, how you doing, bro? Everything okay with you on your side?
Uh, yeah, everything's good on my side. It's officially Saturday over here, so
Yeah, it's Saturday. It's Saturday for me as well. Saturday for King. We're we were all in the AM, so you know the time zone. We were all at when I spoke to you, Justin. It was 11 a.m. for me. It was 5 a.m. for King, and it was midnight for you. So we were all in the AM time zone. But now I'm in the PM already. So
I remember
hey,
I remember you texting me like at 4:12 last night. I was like, are you gonna be able to join? Like, I don't
I,
know. Ask me again when it gets
oh, it
closer.
was the night. It was the night before, wasn't it? It wasn't last night. Oh, I think it was last night. I can't remember what time it was, but yeah. But anyways, lads, this is going to be an interesting discussion. Obviously, with the playing tournaments just coming to a close today, or just finishing the rounds today. What what did you get out of these games? Because obviously, like the Sacramento Kings have been eliminated. The the Chicago Bulls have been eliminated. I thought the Bulls would make the playoffs this year. I thought in the last month and a half, I thought the Bulls would be like, do you know what? I am looking like they're on the up. I think the upturn in form sort of gave me a bit of like an idea of where the Bulls might be, but they've been eliminated. Who else has been eliminated? Dallas are out, and the Hawks are out. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting. What you guys make out of this play-in tournament? Like, what did you guys get out of it this time around?
Kane, I'll let
Justin,
you go. Kane, I'll let you go first.
Um, for me, to be honest, the first day was good because I think the games were closely matched. Or no, the first game was good. The Warriors Grizzlies. I think when the games were closely matched, it was more entertaining. But when there was like teams that were blowing out, and especially the second day, especially the crowds were a bit quiet. So anytime I noticed that the crowd was quiet, I don't think it gave the home team an advantage like that. So I think in the playoffs, I'm hoping for better crowd because I think that really stung Chicago and teams are like that because especially the second day when you're fighting for your lives and your crowd isn't as loud as it should be. And it also showed me how bad trades can decimate a team or change the trajectory of a team as well, especially in the case of Dallas and the Kings. So yeah, overall there were some good games, there were some good spots, but and most of my predictions were a bit wrong, a bit off. But yeah, exciting games, different types. I think the one thing I would say is that bigs are still important in the NBA. So I think if you need that big presence in the paint in the playoffs.
your mic's blurring out a bit, bro.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, in the playoffs, you're gonna need some big presence as well. Because I think teams that were bigger than others were able to bully ball them, especially when it was I think on the second day, Dallas versus were they facing on the second day they faced the Kings, yeah. Dallas versus the
Kings.
Kings. It was just straight bully ball because they had AD Lively and what's his name? Gafford. So they were
Gafford.
just
PJ
hitting the paint
Washington as well, I think.
yeah, hitting the paint really hard and also rebounding was key as well. I think if you can dominate the paint, dominate the insides, then it allows for your game to elevate in terms of getting twos and threes. So I think that was important. So it just showed me like there's different ways to win.
Justin?
So I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't watch the Western Conference play-ins because when the Warriors the Grizzlies game started, I was just getting ready to go to bed for work the next day, and then when the Mavericks and Kings played, I kind of fell asleep because it was busy at work with Easter coming around. But I woke up to seeing that the Grizzlies were. I woke up to seeing that that the Warriors were moving into the playoffs, and that the Kings were gone. Like, look, the East. I'm going to be honest, up until the finals, I'm not going to really pay much attention to the West, but I don't know. I just honestly think that the East playing, I just honestly think that the East playing, especially tonight's Hawks Heat game, were the more entertaining. I mean, yeah, crowd was dead for most of it, but once it got into like overtime, I think the crowd picked up.
Yeah, I think I watched the end of the Warriors game. I thought the Warriors looked like they were ready to go to the playoffs. I thought they were like that team that it's like a season was on the line. Like it literally like their season was on the line, so they had to play for it. They had literally to play for that, and they should have beaten the Clippers. Why they beaten Clippers, right? Let's say they beat the Clippers, they would have faced the Lakers in the first round. And you know what I think? I think they match up well with the Lakers. The Warriors have good shooting, good decent size. They have great defense. But it's unfortunate the Warriors fell off towards the end of the season because they could have got a much higher seed. They could have got at least like a fifth seed, I think, in my opinion. I think the way things were going towards the end, I thought the Warriors definitely had a great shot. With the Grizzlies completely threw away a chance to face the Rockets in the first round. Look, I'll say this, right? The Grizzlies, they beat the Mavericks today, but at what cost? Like, they fired Taylor Jenkins, and they're in that position because of that. The reason why the Grizzlies were in the play-in because they fired Taylor Jenkins. Why would you fire a head coach who's done so much, who's done so well for you, right? You fired him, and now you fall into the play-in. You see the issues there. Like, I think it's a mistake. The Grizzlies should not have done what they done. Fair enough, they made the playoffs, but I think this is where it ends for them. I think they get eliminated by OKC. But I also want to talk about one thing. Yeah, Anthony Davis. I want to go to the Dallas Mavericks now. Anthony Davis completely carried that Dallas team on his back today. 22 points at halftime. Did you see in the second half, in the fourth quarter, he was holding his lower back. He was holding his lower back because all the work he's done for that Dallas Mavericks team only to be eliminated, right? Only to be eliminated in the playoffs. I can't help but feel sorry for Anthony Davis. I just can't help but feel sorry for him because he was playing so well at the Lakers. He was playing so well for the Lakers, right? What happens is he then gets traded, gets injured, comes back. Dallas gets eliminated from the playoffs. They make the play-in, fair enough. But then what happens? What happens is they get eliminated from the play-in, and now they're out of the playoffs completely. So Nico Harrison, right? You've only got yourself to blame for the entire season collapsing. You've only got yourself to blame. And if Dallas are happy keeping him, I wish the very best of luck to any Dallas Mavericks fan watching my video right now. To any Dallas Mavericks fan that's come across this live, I wish you the best of luck. Really and truly. I wish you guys the very best of luck. Good luck with Nico Harrison because he's going to be a problem for you guys in the next few years. Massive problem. He's traded away so many of your superstars for absolute dross, and now he's come in. He's traded Luka Doncic, traded Porzingis, traded Jalen Brunson. What else did you trade? Somebody help me with this one.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, he traded KP, he traded Jalen Brunson, he traded Luka. He's traded much more, right? But then again, I think Kyrie Irving's injury also kind of how would you say it? It kind of ruined their season in a way. The Kyrie Irving injury kind of ruined their season, and it also it also played a massive factor into as to where the Dallas Mavericks were heading towards the end of the season, because there was a game where they had 7 players in their roster and they almost had to cancel the game. They almost had to forfeit. So luckily enough, they had the chance to finish the season off. They made the play in, but then at what cost? Only to be eliminated, man. I just feel so sorry for AD. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Like I genuinely feel so sorry for Anthony Davis tonight. He did all the work for the Mavs today, and literally they fell apart. And yeah, like I said, I can't help but feel sorry. I don't know you guys. I don't know what you guys think. King, Justin, want to
go? Regards to Dallas.
Yeah, I was talking about how AD was how sorry I felt for the guy, because he was genuinely like he carried that Mavericks team on his back today. And he has been for the past few weeks.
No, I'm not sorry for him. I think Dallas is center heavy, so they're big heavy, and they don't really have great guards. So the reason why they did beat the Kings in the first game is because they were just too big for them, too strong, and literally because they crashed the paint, they were able to beat up on the Kings and kind of destroy them in that sense. They weren't able to elicit the same game plan against the Grizzlies, because Grizzlies have Zach Edey, Grizzlies have Triple J, so they have size to compete with it. And I think that was the difference maker for the Grizzlies in this game, is that they had the size to compete on the rebounding, on the boards. So, and also for Dallas, a lot of their players didn't turn up. PJ Washington finished with 0 points. Derek Lively finished with 0 points. They traded for Caleb Martin. They got rid of Quincy Grimes. He got 0 points. Spencer Dinwiddie did 4 minutes, 0 points. So they got a bunch of players that did really nothing for them, and their bigs were insignificant because Memphis had the size to compete with them. So it was only AD's skill that was able for them to get offense going. But at the same time, defensively, they weren't good enough. They didn't stop the Grizzlies at all. So for all this talk from Nico Harris about getting better defensive players, the defense was the problem. The Grizzlies pretty much had their way with Dallas throughout the game. They dominated in the paint. They dominated the rebounded. The 3-point shooting was much better. The amount of times that I saw Dallas miss 3-pointers that were clean was ridiculous. And I just think the team in itself just didn't play well. But do I feel sorry for AD? No. He got moved to a new team. He had no involvement in that.
I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about the last few weeks. Just talking about today.
It's unfortunate that Kyrie's not available, because that may be made of a difference in the backcourt. But outside of AD, Dallas don't really. Outside of AD and Kyrie, Dallas don't really have guys that you can rely on. So if one of them's down and all you can trust in is AD, this is the wrong league to be just focused on a big man, because the league is 3-point heavy, it's guard heavy, it's about having good guards and good forwards. So if your 1 to 3 aren't up to snuff, most teams are gonna just splash you down with threes, and that's what Memphis did. Dallas just wasn't there the whole night for that game, and they couldn't bully ball them like they did with the Kings in the first game. So yeah. AD showed up, the rest of them didn't. He was the only one that was kind of trying, but at the same time, am I sad overall? No, because I think Nico Harris deserves this, because he systematically destroyed that franchise, and I don't think Dallas deserves to be back until they get rid of him. And as long as he's there, I'm rooting against Dallas. So That's on my side, and I should know about a horrible GM. A guy with trades. I got Maury, and he's made terrible moves. So uh, I'm with the Dallas fans, but against the team. I don't want this team to succeed, and I hope Kyrie's out for a long time. And when he does come back, he decides to go elsewhere because he deserves better.
Yeah, every Dallas fan deserves better, in my opinion. I think Dallas Mavericks deserves a new team itself. The Mavericks fans do not deserve to see what they saw, like in the last 3 months since Luka went to the Lakers. Like Nico Harrison has pretty much just ruined the Dallas Mavericks season in one big trade. Oh, like literally, I don't know how Dallas Mavericks still employ this guy. I don't know how. I don't know what the discussions were behind the scenes, but whatever the discussions were, I'm sorry. Like Dallas Mavericks deserves to just delete franchise. The Dallas Mavericks should just delete franchise. That was complete. That was utterly terrible from them. Utterly terrible, man. And I don't know what more I can say, to be honest. I'm just disappointed in Dallas. I really am, because they could have made it back to the finals if they had kept Luka. I genuinely think if Luka was still in Dallas, I think Dallas could have made it back to the finals. Or if Kyrie was also fit, they could have also made it back to the finals again. So yeah, like I said, completely ruined the season. Justin, I want to know your thoughts on this as well, because it's been a rocky season for the Mavs fans, and I'm sure they'll have a massive discussion in off season about what to do as a whole. But I want to know your thoughts on the whole Dallas Mavericks situation. And yeah, just say what you think, bro.
Honestly, everything that King said, I was pretty much gonna say as well. So, with that being said, I got nothing else to add on to this horrendous Dallas Mavericks season.
Let's head to the East then, I guess. The Heat versus the Hawks. I think it was a really good ending today as well. I think the Hawks forced overtime. Not the Hawks. Yeah, the Hawks forced overtime. The Heat were up by a lot. The Hawks came back. Then the Heat fought back again, and then it went to overtime. So it was definitely a very interesting ending in that game. The Hawks could have made the playoffs, but they fell short to the Miami Heat at the end. The Bulls, I was very surprised that they got eliminated from the playoffs. I thought the Bulls would definitely be a team that would make the 8th seed or at least the 7th seed. I'm not so sure which one of them, but they could have definitely made it. Sorry, not the 8th seed, the 7th seed, at least the 8th seed. They could have potentially made the 8th seed.
It wouldn't have mattered. Whoever made the 8th seed was going to get eliminated by Cleveland anyways.
I think they're going to get eliminated by Cleveland anyways. I agree, but there's still a lot more. But there's still a lot more that we can definitely talk about. The Heat, they made the playoffs. They had to win 2 games. The Miami Heat are, mind you, are the first ever 10th seed to make the NBA playoffs in the East. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they're the first ever 10th seed to make the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but
first ever 10th seed.
That's crazy. But I want to know your thoughts, King and Justin, like on the Heat, because they've had a bit of a struggle this season with the Jimmy Butler situation, and having to sort of scrape their way through the play into the playoffs. But I want to know your thoughts on the Miami Heat.
So I'll go first on this one. Then I'll let King go last on this one.
Go on, of course. Go on.
Remind me never to pick the Hawks ever again in the play-in. ever again.
I was supposed to. I literally said Orlando first, and then I went for Atlanta. I don't know why I switched.
God, they so disappointed me. Well, you know what this is. You know what this means, right? They're gonna get rid of Trae Young. They're gonna get rid of Trae. Oh man. Miami's gonna get mollywopped by the Cleveland Cavaliers in possibly 5 games, but post Jimmy, I guess they're really showing that they don't need Jimmy, but I don't know. I'm just not impressed with the Hawks at all. Good luck, Miami. You're gonna need it.
King?
Yeah, no. I don't know why I picked the Hawks as well. The Magic beat them convincingly in the first game. Bankero and Wagner showed up. Cole Anthony had a good game as well. I just think outside of Trae Young, they don't really have too much offensive power, the Hawks, and I feel like if it isn't him getting the shots in, I don't think anyone else is willing to make them shots, to make them buckets for them. Even in the game against Heat, it was George Niang that was putting up some numbers, but even then, they were very lucky just to even make it to OT, and then in OT, Miami just had too much for them. I think Miami with Bam, Tyler Hero, Wiggins as well. I think those three are guys that can get you 20 points each. And then you got the rebounding from Bam as well. Davion Mitchell was solid as well. His defensive effort in the game, you know, he's definitely a dog, and he'll be a problem for Cleveland as well. So I just think the Hawks don't really have much outside of Trae Young, and I think they're probably gonna have to move on from him and kind of rework their team. They were also who else did they get rid of? They got rid of DeAndre Hunter, so that was
DeAndre Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a mistake.
So
But,
the team
yeah.
that they would have played as well.
Yeah, so for me, I just think Miami were just too much for them in terms of they had a big man, they had a couple other guys that could score. Tyler Hero was doing everything, and they had defense, and Miami Heat had defensive dogs on the court as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup against Cleveland. I still think Cleveland will probably destroy Miami, but it'll probably be in 5 or 6. I think if it was Cleveland versus the Hawks, it would have been a 4-game series. It would have been a sweep because I don't think the Hawks have anything outside of Trae. And yeah, the Hawks just need to redo it again. And then Miami, yeah, man, it's a good look. It's a good look. You're getting into the playoffs, especially outside of the and to be honest, even with the Jimmy trade, they got a good, unlike Dallas, they got a good piece back in Andre Wiggins. So at least with that trade, they got something in return that can help them in their kind of struggles in the East. But will they get past Cleveland? I don't know. I do not know. I will say this. I did like the ATL home crowd. It was good atmosphere. I think that was probably the best atmosphere out of all the games for me, them, and maybe second was Memphis. But yeah, you know, they had Quavo courtside and all that. But yeah, I just think ATL needs to just rework their squad, and Miami are doing good for having not much. And I think Miami are a team that are going to look to the summer to get some big names, because I think Tyler Hero needs another superstar next to him. And if they can get that, I think they'll have a solid unit going forward. But yeah, not much else really to say. I just think that the issue is that if you're gonna come out to play and you're facing either the Cavs or Boston Celtics, and most likely you're gonna either lose in 4 or 5. I don't think any of the teams in the play-in tournament have the tools to compete with those teams, in my opinion. So it's just all leading to Cancun. It's just the Hawks went to Cancun earlier than the Heat. Cancun pending for the Heat and Orlando.
I think the commentators literally mentioned Cancun as a joke, because I think this joke is so overused now in today's day NBA. Like, whichever team gets eliminated has to go to Cancun. It's like, okay, it's funny, but like still, I think the Heat are. I think the Jimmy Butler thing didn't help them this season. I think it didn't help the situation with Pat Riley and everything. I think the Heat fans are not happy with him as well. Yeah, it's just the way the Heat have been run over the last year and a half. It's been tough for Heat fans because they've had to deal with some questionable decisions made by the front office and everything. So, not much to say on the Miami Heat. The Atlanta Hawks are through. I said are out of the playoffs. What does this mean for Trae Young and Atlanta? Like, what does this mean? Do you think Trae Young's gone? You think he's gonna request a trade, or do you think he stays and they try to rebuild again?
I think they need to trade him for some pieces, but also it's funny. The Trae Young Luka Doncic trade in the draft, they both lost.
Now there's nobody. Nobody's in Dallas anymore.
Worst trade in draft history.
But, I agree.
There's a picture of him going around with Trae Young in a Miami Heat uniform. God, I hope that doesn't happen.
It could. I mean, I don't know where else he could go. Who really needs a point guard?
Because I have a friend who's a Miami Heat fan. He said that the Heat are either gonna get Trae Young, Giannis, or KD. I'm like, no, and fuck no.
KD is a possibility because he's available, but the other two less likely.
Yeah, KD is leaving Phoenix for sure. That's 100%.
But there's also rumors of Trae Young going to Houston or Trae Young going to Oklahoma. So
if Trae Young goes to Oklahoma and they don't win the championship, that's going to be a complete bust. So it's a risk because they're going to have to trade away Jalen Williams. They're going to have to trade away a lot of their core. I don't think OKC should do it.
Either way,
I think you should
either way, Trae Young's either gone this year or he's 100% going to become an unrestricted free agent at the end of the next season.
I think the Clippers make sense because you're playing with Kawhi and you're playing with James Harden. You have a solid point. You have a solid shooting guard there. Trae Young can be the point guard, even though he's a shooting guard. He could be that point guard, right? Play with Kawhi, play with James Harden, play with Kawhi and James Harden, and bro, that's gonna be that'll be such a solid team, man. Clippers will be a good team to go to. You can maybe go to, let's say,
I've got a team. There's another team in LA that you could go to.
Oh,
link up with Doncic.
No.
I don't see
straight away in LA. Yeah, let's go.
I don't see a reason why he should go there. But how about the Brooklyn Nets?
No, that's gonna waste his time.
How about the Knicks? Maybe the Knicks could trade away. I don't think the Knicks need him. They got Brunson. Let's just say in an ideal world, there's no cap space, right? There's no If he was to select a team, any 20 teams in the NBA, right, apart from the Celtics and the Lakers, right, obviously, which other teams can he go to? Because there's so much he could go to.
Mavs
imagine going back to Dallas. That would be hilarious.
Just keep him away from Miami.
What about Philadelphia?
Yeah, Kane would love that.
I don't know. I'd rather stick with Tyrese Maxey and the young, the rookie. What's his name again? Kane.
Yeah, but think about it. Trae Young for Joel Embiid.
I would do it. Because then you'd have a Tyrese Maxey backcourt. But then you're going to need to get a big man in.
I think Joel Embiid's I think he'll stay at the Sixers. I don't think he'll leave. He needs to get healthy for next season. This season's been a tough season for him in terms of health, but attitude problems is also a massive issue with Joel Embiid. So we'll see. But I think that's it from the play-in. There's no one else to talk about. I think the Bulls I don't think we need to talk. We don't need to talk much on Chicago.
Yeah, remind
We
me.
won't
to
talk
never-
much on Chicago.
Remind me to never pick them again either.
Actually,
There's
can I
one-
add one thing about Chicago?
Go on, of course.
Their crowd was dead. I ain't gonna lie. I watched that game, and yeah, their crowd was dead. They deserved to lose just based on how lackluster that crowd was. And also my issue with that game is that it didn't feel like it was an elimination game for
Yeah.
the Bulls. It just felt like it felt like just people would. It felt like a regular season game.
The
That's what it
last time
felt
I
like.
heard Chicago fans that like loud was that game where Josh Giddey hit the game winner. That was the loudest I heard the Bulls fans for a very long time. Like
The
that was the
last
loudest. That was the loudest I've heard their fans. I've not heard their fans like for some time. But
The
yeah,
last time I ever heard Chicago fans go crazy besides Josh Giddey was when they actually won the World Series for the first time in 116 years.
Chicago, the Cubs or what?
Yep, the Cubs.
When did they? When was the last time they won the World Series? Like which year was that?
The most recent one was 2016 against Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, Chicago need to build off from this. I think they have a good, solid young team. I think Kobe White's a good player. I think you've got Bruce Elliott's a very good player. Josh Giddey's decent.
Vucevic is
So-
gone.
I think Vucevic will leave. They need to find a new center, and they need to find who's the other. They need to build on from the team they have. So I think they're gonna get a good draft pick. We'll see who they might want to draft. But all in all, I don't think the Bulls have a bad team. I just think that it's just not they're just not well. They're not well run behind the scenes as well. And I just want to go back to Sacramento Kings, yeah, on the West before we move on to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I'll
Um,
never pick them again either.
We've spoken about Dallas. We've spoken about Golden State. We've spoken about Miami. We've spoken about Dallas. Wait, did I say that? We've spoken about Memphis. We spoke about Atlanta. That's all 6 teams we've spoken about already. But I need to speak about the Kings. Sorry, we spoke about 5 teams. I need to speak on the Kings. I need to talk about the Kings, all right? So the Sacramento Kings have completely ruined their potential as a franchise. I genuinely think the Sacramento Kings have ruined the potential as a franchise. Go and look at the team that they had back 2 years ago. De'Aaron Fox, DeMontis Sabonis, Malik Monk. Who else did they have again? Kevin Herter. And who's the other guy that they had again? I need to be reminded of somebody. Somebody needs to remind me. The Sacramento Kings team from 2 years ago.
Let
Because
me check.
that team, right, had potential to be a huge threat in the West. They had the potential to be a huge threat in the West, but guess what happened? They brought in DeMar DeRozan, who I don't think is a bad player. I'm not slating anyone that they brought in. They brought in Zach LaVine. They traded away De'Aaron Fox. They fired Mike Brown. What's happened to them now? Eliminate in the play-in tournament.
And then fired their interim coach.
There you go. The Sacramento Kings front office has completely ruined the potential of that franchise. And I think the Sacramento Kings have to have a lot to talk about this offseason because, bro, I kid you not, yeah, that team was special. Yes, they lost to the Warriors in the first round, but that team was special, man. Genuine. That Kings team was good to watch. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, they had Fox, Davion
Fox.
Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell.
They
Who's
had,
now at the Heat? Who's now at the Heat, by the way?
They had Harrison Barnes, Deladova,
Deladova. Sabonis.
Kessler Edwards, Alex Len,
They had a good team, man.
Juwan
They're
Holmes.
genuine. They had a good team, bro. For real. They had a very, very good team. But they've completely ruined it all. And I think they need to reset. It's sad, but they need to reset because they've just thrown away everything that they had. Mike Brown's gone. De'Aaron Fox is now gone. They've traded away Davion Mitchell. Who else? What else do they need to cling on now? Zach LaVine hasn't helped. Bringing DeMar DeRozan has not helped for sure.
Zach LaVine.
So what are they going to do? Now? So I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys think on the Kings before we move on. to the playoffs. Just give like a quick review on it.
I got nothing to say about them except I'm never picking them in the playoffs ever again.
I don't blame you.
For me, I just think they lost to Dallas because they had an undersized big in Sabonis. Maybe they need to move him to a 4 and get an actual big man next to him. Maybe that could be the play that they could go forward. And they need a point guard. I think that's the other thing that they lack. They lack a direction in terms of a man that can be instrumental in getting Zach LaVine and DeRozan shots and good positions. I think those are the two positions that they were lackluster against Dallas in, and if they don't rectify those two, then they're not gonna be anything going forward. So maybe they need Trey Young. I think Trey Young to the Kings might be something that they look to do.
Good shout. I forgot about that.
You put Trey Young in that team. Yeah. That's a scary sight.
Yeah, get Trey Young, get rid of Zach LaVine, get rid of DeMar DeRozan. There you go. Your Bulls of the West.
And and they should never have got rid of De'Aaron Fox. Never should have fired Mike Brown.
To be honest, Fox wanted to leave, so that was
because
Fox was going to go to San Antonio anyways.
Because they brought in they brought in what's this guy again?
Wemby.
Because they fired Mike Brown. Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox was a good combo in terms of a head coach and a player. They fired Mike Brown, and that team's completely ruined. They brought DeMar DeRozan because he kind of stole the limelight a bit from De'Aaron Fox. I'm not so sure if that's the case, but it seemed like that way. But I don't know. I don't have much to say anymore on the Kings. They need to fix it in the offseason because they have such a good team, man. That team is very, very good. So they need to fix it soon. Any more words on the Kings, and we'll move on?
Nope.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
The beam got dimmed. That's what happened. It got turned off.
Unfortunately, bro, they've got one of the best fans in the league as well, Sacramento Kings. So I feel bad for the fans.
Maybe the fact. This is my last thing I'm gonna say. Maybe the fact that Monday Night Raw was in Sacramento the night before that playoff game destroyed everything. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I blame WWE.
They got RKO'd. I mean,
yeah.
So
to be honest, that's a bit weird to have a WWE thing for the day before.
It's in California, to be honest. So I don't blame them. But anyways, we are going to move on to the playoffs. King, do you have the bracket up? Do you want to bring the bracket up? By the way, people, we are closing in on 200 subs, so please make sure you guys do subscribe. We are on 186 subs right now. Let's get to 200 subs right now, people. Come on. There's 11 of you watching. Click the link and subscribe. Head over to AN Sports and subscribe, people. So the playoffs are officially here. Finally, let's get the play and talk out of the way. Let's talk about the playoffs. So the Orlando Magic were the first team to make the playoffs, and now they face the Boston Celtics, our Boston Celtics. And then the Warriors beat the Grizzlies to take on the Rockets in the first round. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, with like I said, the Mavericks beat the Kings, but lost to the Grizzlies. So the Grizzlies now make the playoffs to face the Thunder. The Heat beat the Bulls, and they beat the Hawks to get into the playoffs. But that was the first. That's the first ever 10 seed to make the playoffs, and this is gonna be interesting, very, very interesting. Let's talk about the first. Which games do you guys want to talk about? What's the first game that in mind that you might want to talk about? Because the first game that tips off is the Pacers against the Bucks. Then followed by the Nuggets against the Clippers. Then we got the Knicks and the Pistons, Lakers, Timberwolves, and then tomorrow we have OKC against Memphis, Celtics, Magic, Heat, Cavs against Heat, Rockets against Warriors. Following day, we have. Hold on. Oh, that's it. Sorry. So that's the order of games that's going to go on to tomorrow. But let's talk about. I think. Do you know what? Let's be biased. We have to talk about the NBA champions first. Let's go. Let's go to the Boston Celtics. What do you guys think of this matchup? Because the Magic looked pretty good against the what you call against the Hawks, but then again they're coming up against the team that's currently won the current NBA champions, and it's gonna be a massive test for the Orlando Magic to see what the future of this team is looking like. Because I think the Orlando Magic have definitely got the potential to be NBA champions in a few years. They just need to they need to sort out the injuries this season, and potentially next season they could be a 3rd seed, 4th seed. We don't know. But let's go Celtics Magic first. What are you guys thinking about this game, and what do you think about the series? Justin, I'll start with you first. Let's talk about the Celtics and the Magic, the whole as a series as a whole, and how we're feeling ahead of it.
I'll actually let King go first on this one.
Okay, go. Or should I go first on this one since I'm the Celtics fan?
I don't care who goes first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm confident, but I'm also wary of how good Orlando have been, and can be. I'm gonna back this. I'm gonna back the Celtics, obviously, but like I said, first game is gonna be a big test for both teams to see how the series might pan out. Hopefully, the Celtics will get the job done. I think they will get the job done. We've been a bit inconsistent this year compared to last year. Finished three wins behind of last season. Love last season's record. Last season we were we were the best team in the East and the whole NBA. We dominated the NBA with a 64-18 record. Sorry, my bad. And we and we dominated the playoffs. That's how it went. We lost 3 games the entire playoffs, and we just completely dominated, and we won the championship. So that's what we have to do this year. Our title defense begins now. If we don't win the season, I hope we can at least make the Eastern Conference Finals. But I'm looking to go back to back, and I think we should be able to go back to back. I think we can.
Before King goes, I will say that in about 8 minutes I'm gonna hop off here.
Yeah, no worries. But we can at least preview the Celtics game first, and then you can hop off.
Yeah, I'll do the Celtics after King goes, and then I'm gonna hop off here.
All right, King, you can go ahead. Just talk a little bit with this game, and how both teams match up.
I'm just gonna keep it very simple. I think it's just gonna be Celtics in 5. I don't think the Magic have enough to compete with Boston at this current stage. Banchero and Wagner are going to be problems, but I don't think they're going to be able to be a big enough matchup to deal with JT and JB. And then you also got Porzingis and the others and the rest. So I think it's just going to be long for the Magic. I think it's just going to be a gentleman's sweep. I don't think it's going to be an actual sweep. It's a gentleman's sweep 5, and I don't think it's going to be much. I don't think it's going to be many problems because I think the Hawks were very bad against the Magic, in my opinion, and I think the Boston Celtics have too much for them. That's it, really. I don't really see Orlando having the ability to compete on a level. I think I don't think it will be outright domination, but it'll be close enough.
So a bit like the Pacers series in the Eastern Conference Finals, where we swept them, but we scraped through games.
Yeah. But it'll be a gentleman's sweep. They'll get 1 game, but 4-1.
Hopefully, we defend home court. Then I guess that's all I hope. Hopefully we can win all our games at home and go through. The most important thing is in the playoffs is you protect home court, and that's what I want the Celtics to do. Start from game 1 and game 2, protect home court, and see where it goes. But Justin, I want to go to you next.
The reason why I chose Atlanta to beat Orlando in the play-in, stupid me, because I don't really fear Atlanta in State Farm Arena. Aikman, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't feel confident going into Orlando. I feel confident defending home court against Orlando. I don't feel confident going on the road in Orlando
Yeah, that's what I
because
felt. Yeah,
because
sorry, go on.
these past two matchups in Orlando, I don't care, back to back or not. What have we done in Orlando these past two games?
To be fair with you, this recent Orlando game, we played a complete bench team. That's not to say that we should have played our first team, because if we played our first team, I think we'd have beaten them,
Okay,
because
we'll scrap that. When we played our star in five, what did we do?
I don't think Tatum played that game, did he?
No,
In the first Orlando game. So that
no.
was one thing. We kind of missed Tatum, but at the same time, even they missed three of their best players. We should have won that game. So that was no excuses. You are right. However, I think it was a one-off, because I think in December we were not on good. I don't think we were on a good run of form in December and January. I think we were a bit inconsistent. I think February and March where we turned up the heat. I think when the Celtics started to turn up the gas was in February, March, where the Celtics took over. Like, we went 14-1 in March for a reason, bro. We just completely turned everyone over. And
So we're undefeated against the Magic this year at TD Garden. We're just
yeah,
not undefeated against the Magic on their
we've
home
not
court.
we've not won in Orlando for, I think, what, 2-3 years now, since
Yeah.
2021, 2022. I think that was the last time we won in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and now people know why I picked Atlanta.
I don't blame you, but I still think that the last time we won in Orlando was in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. We beat them. I remember we beat them once. So yeah, and then ever since then we've never won. We lost both games. We lost last year in Orlando, but that was the play-in tournament game or something. I can't remember what it was. And we just about lost last year. So
Well, look, all I'm gonna say is I think it would be Celtics in five, but the way that we've been playing in Orlando recently, I could pretty much fear that this goes 7 in Boston. Because we're gonna win the home games, but we're probably gonna lose the road games.
I will say this though. Last year I felt the exact same way as you, Justin. When Cleveland stole one game in Boston, I was like, we've not won in Cleveland for a very long time. It's going to be scary going to Cleveland. We ended up beating Cleveland in both games.
Yeah, we did.
We ended up beating Cleveland in both games last year. So, and I was also a bit worried about the Miami Heat game as well when we lost game 2 against them. But what did we do? We went and took the Heat. We went and took the Heat apart in both games. So all I'm gonna say is, I reckon we steal home court. I reckon we win all the games at home, and we lose one game on the road. We'll win games 1 and 2 and 3. We'll lose game 4. We'll go back game 5 and win Celtics 5. I'm gonna go Celtics in 5.
Yeah, because Miami and Cleveland woke us up, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just kind of scared of going into the road games in Orlando. I really am, but
I don't blame you.
Celtics in 5 or 7, it doesn't really matter. But hey, before you guys continue, I know I said 8 minutes, but I'm actually gonna hop off here now because it's
all
2
good,
minutes
man.
before 2. So, Kane, Akervin, you guys have a good start to your morning and enjoy the first round of the playoffs today.
Yeah, you yourself, man. You have yourself a good night, and I'll see you for the next show. Hopefully, we can schedule one soon. Maybe after the first round of games finished, we can do a show.
Yeah, that's totally fine with me. I'll be available for round 2 of the playoffs.
All good, bro. Or round 2 of games 1. Game 1. Sorry, first round. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? The second part of the first round.
Oh,
second games, yeah.
Just let me know what time, and I should be
all
available.
good, bro. All good, bro. You have yourself a good sleep, and yeah, at least you make your Celtics predictions. So that's all I asked for, to be honest. So, but big up to you, man. Take care.
Have a good one,
Peace,
guys.
Justin.
Take care. Let's go to Shout out Justin every time. Let's go to I think
Stick
The
with
next-
the East. Stick with the East.
do you want to go to the West now? We'll go one by one.
No, go up the East. Go up the East. Do the East, and then we'll go do the West.
Let's go with a bit of an. Actually, let's go Pacers Bucks. That's the next interesting game I think we can talk about. I'll let you have your say. You can start in this one.
I think I think the Bucks will win it in 6. I think the thing about this game is, and when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about who has the better player on the team. And for me, I think Giannis in playoff basketball is very unstoppable, and I don't think the Pacers have enough to stop him. So it's going to be a close game. It may go 6 or 7, but I think the Bucks will just have it. I think the Bucks will just have it against Indiana. I don't know. I have a feeling the Bucks will just dominate them. Dame Lillard is a big miss, but at the same time, it allows for Giannis to just play his typical style when it comes to the Bucks. Bully inside, kick out when need be, and put shooters around him. That's what the Bucks have to do. Let him bully them in the paint. Stop the freight train. Try and stop the freight train, and then you can kick it out to the shooters. So if they can do that, I think Bucks in 6. But it's gonna be a close one because Pacers are no slouch. They've got some quality guys over there. But yeah, I just think the Bucks will edge it.
I agree. I think even with Dame missing and last year with the Bucks having injuries against the Pacers, even though I still thought the Pacers would have beaten the Bucks in 6 anyways last year because the Pacers had the Bucks number last year. We'd have a rematch of last year. Yes, the Pacers finished above the Bucks, but I'm going to go Bucks in 6. I agree with you completely. I think Bucks have turned up the heat a bit in the second half of the season. I think they look a bit stronger. Giannis is looking like a different player now. He's looking like a threat now, so definitely going to be tough. Will I be surprised if this goes to 7? No, because I think that there's potential Game 7 on the cards. Both of them finished 4th and 5th, just about near each other, with a very similar record. So, or almost just about the same record, almost the same, just 2 games off each other.
Yeah.
Will I be surprised if it goes 7? No, but I think the Bucks will go through regardless. Bucks in 6 or 7. I think Bucks in 6. I'll be honest. I think Bucks have a good shot. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers win, though. I wouldn't be surprised either way. It's
I
gonna
don't
go
be
6 or
surprised,
7.
but yeah, I think the Pacers have a decent chance, but I don't see the Pacers make out of the first round this year. With a lot of I think the Pacers made through the rounds because of injuries last year. They beat the Knicks in 7 because of injuries last year as well. So I think the Knicks would have made the conference finals, but regardless, I think the Pacers are going to get eliminated in the first round. No disrespect to the Pacers. I think they're a very, very good team. I like the Pacers team. Very, very young, talented team. Miles Turner, Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam. They've got a very, very good core there of players. But I just think they're very inconsistent. So I think I'm going to go Bucks in the 6. I think Bucks have turned up the heat. I think they're going to win. Bucks will face. Yeah, Bucks will go through. Next, I think we'll go with we're going to go with Davion versus Donovan. Battle of the Mitchells. Cavs versus Heat. What are you saying? The Battle of the Mitchells. Davion versus Donovan.
Cavs in 4.
Or Donovan versus Davion. Yeah.
I think the Cavs are gonna. I'm gonna think the Cavs are gonna sweep them. I agree.
I think Cavs.
I don't think it's gonna be a close matchup. This one.
I think Cavs in 4 or 5. I think the Cavs might steal. I think the Heat might steal the game just for pride purposes or whatever it is. Just playing for pride. I think the Heat might.
If Tyler Hero turns up, then yeah, maybe they get one in Miami.
Yeah. I think Tyler Hero has definitely been a massive factor for Miami Heat in the qualification for the playoffs. I think he's been their go-to guy. Him and Davion Mitchell and Bam Adebayo are the 3 go-to guys, but they need a consistent scorer, and they don't have a consistent scorer. I think size, they can definitely match the Cavs in terms of size, but I think just on offense in general, I think the Cavs have got a way better offense, and I think the Cavs got a way better defense. I think the Cavs are gonna torment them. I think Cavs in 4 or 5. Probably a sweep, I'll be honest. So yeah, Cavs go through.
Miami don't have a second option that I think is like Bam is good, but I think he may get crowded out by even Mobley and the bigs that Cleveland have, and then it's just gonna be if what's his name? Oh, I forgot the name.
Bam Adebayo,
No, the main Miami guy, Tyler Hero. If Tyler
Tyler
Hero,
Hero.
because he can get 30, 40 points, but at the same time, if Cleveland studied the first 2 games, which they probably would have, they say if they can get the ball off him, there's not many others that are able to create their own shots or do their own thing
Yeah.
outside of him.
Heat fans can no longer use Jimmy Butler as an excuse anymore.
Yeah, so yeah,
So they're
Cleveland
gonna have to.
Cleveland in 4 or 5, but most likely 4. I think they'll sweep it.
Fair enough. I agree with you. I think Cavs are gonna torment them. I'm gonna go Cleveland in 4 or 5 as well. Knicks and Pistons. There might be a close game there, so maybe Heat might steal that close game. We don't know. But yeah, Knicks against Pistons. This one's a bit of an interesting one because like the Pistons are the dark horses in the East because they've definitely had a upturn in terms of form. They were the worst team in the whole NBA last season. Complete worst. They were the worst team in the whole NBA last season, bro. They were consistently losing games. That they hadn't won a game for like what 17 games or something like that, or 27 games. I can't remember what it was, but they were terrible last year. And the Pistons are now the 6th seed in the East. They've definitely turned their fortunes around. They're a tough team to face on the glass. They're always fighting for every single ball. I think the Pistons are dogs, man. Like for real. Like I know they're the 6th seed, but they're dogs. But I think the Heat, not the Heat, the Knicks are a good team as well. They've got Karl Anthony Towns, who they traded for this season from the Timberwolves. Trade away Julius Randle. They've got Jalen Brunson, who is by far their best player. Mitchell Robinson, who's come back from an injury. Josh Hart. They've got some good teams. They've got some good players, man. The Heat have definitely got some good players. So, and they've got OG Anunoby as well. So yeah, it's gonna be tough to face It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with Knicks in 6. I want to know your thoughts on this one. Just give me a quick preview and we'll move on and your prediction.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Knicks starting 5 are
inexperienced Pistons team in the playoffs as well, mind you.
Yeah. The Knicks' starting 5 are better than the Pistons. I think if you go player for player against each other, the only one that may be a bit close is probably Brunson and Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
But the rest, Mikal Bridges over Tim Hardaway. I would put Josh Hart over also Thompson, even though in the future he'll be better. I'd put OG Anunoby over Tobias Harris and Cat is over Jalen Duren. But so in terms of 5v5, I think Knicks have it. It's just what their bench will do, and I think that's probably the only thing that Knicks is going to struggle with is if their bench is able to do a couple things as well. So it'll go to 6 or 7 because I just think the Pistons are dogs. They're defensively dogged. They're kind of getting back to that reputation of being the bad boys. So they're going to be a very rough and tough team. They're going to try and put the Knicks out of whack. And there's been a history of Cat not being able to kind of deal with that kind of pressure. So he's going to have to show up and lead that team because he's the big signing. He's the big star. He's their fresh new signing, the big man that they've added. So he's gonna need to dominate the paint, rebounding, and Jalen Brunson's got to show up as well. So overall, I think the Knicks will still have it in 6, but I think the East in terms of the 4th, 5th, 3rd, 6th matchups are very, very close. And unlike the other games, these ones are closer matchups. Even though there's a slight disparity in terms of wins and losses, they're very close in terms of teams. But the Knicks just have the better star power, so I think that will just get them through.
I hear you. What do you say? Knicks in what? Knicks in
probably 6. Knicks in 6.
But who's going to win?
Maybe even 7. Actually, Knicks in 7.
Possibly. But who's going to win games 1? Celtics Magic game 1. What's your prediction for that one? I'm going Celtics.
At home, Celtics at home will win.
Celtics at home.
Yeah.
Cavs, Heat, Cavs. Obviously, we're all going Cavs.
I think the only team that might lose at home is probably the Pacers in the East. That's the only one.
Pacers, Bucks, game 1. I'm gonna go Pacers game 1 actually.
Yeah. Pacers the only one that could possibly lose at home, but the rest is gonna be easy. Pistons are gonna have to just defend home court and try
Yeah.
and actually win Game 7 in New York.
What's your prediction for Game 1 though? Pacers Bucks.
I'll go with Bucks for that one.
I'll go Pacers, but so we agree on Cavs and Celtics games 1, and Knicks Pistons. I'm gonna go Knicks Game 1.
Yeah.
Let's head to the West, and I guess the Wild West. Where do you want to begin? Because these matchups are just they're insane. I think you got to talk about the Nuggets Clippers first. I think that's the first game we should go to. Honestly,
yeah, I've got
matchup.
I've got the Clippers for that one. Clippers.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because the Nuggets still got Jokic. So even though they fired Michael Malone, they still got Jokic. And Jokic has definitely been a player that it's hard to defend. He's very, very hard to contain. He's very, very hard to get by. But he's very hard to blow by as well because the thing is, right, like when you watch Jokic defending, right, he doesn't play defense properly. He's more a guy who just gets rebounds and gets assists and he just scores. He doesn't play much defense compared to a lot of NBA players, but he's still such a threat. He's still a massive threat. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Nuggets in 7 actually, or Nuggets in 6 because I think the Clippers will, if they have to deal with injuries, mind you, because Kawhi Leonard, don't know if he's gonna be fit. Don't know if
he's healthy. He's healthy.
I hear it, and I know the Clippers turn the season around, but you just never know what happens in the playoffs, don't you?
No, I think he's going to be healthy throughout. I think he's in a good place right now, and he's a problem in the playoffs. They got Zubac in the 5 who can at least limit Jokic. Kawhi is going to stop Jamal Murray, and then on the other side you got to deal with James Harden, Norman Powell. I think the Clippers are going to be too much, especially considering the Denver Nuggets are dysfunctional at the moment without their proper coach. So I just think the Clippers are just going to tactically outwork and outsmart them. And because they're healthy, they're probably the biggest problem in the West for the top teams. And I think they'll win in 6.
I hear you. There's a good chance that the Nuggets can still win. I think it's still up in the air. We just don't know what's going to happen exactly with the Nuggets in the first game. I'm going to go Nuggets to win the first game, but I think I don't know. You've kind of convinced me, to be honest. Maybe Clippers in 6. Yeah, I agree. The Clippers in 6. Clips in 6. Clips in 6 on this one. But who takes game 1 though?
Nuggets will take game 1. I think it will go 2-2, and then I think Clippers will just take will take the third home game because it takes a while to get used to the climate of Denver because you got to acclimatize to high altitude. Once you get used to that, by the third game, I think they'll be able to.
So you're saying Nuggets win game 1, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. They win the first couple of homes because it's just the altitude. The altitude is the killer. If you can get past that, then win your 2 home, then you can take 1. Yeah, it may even go to 7 in my opinion, and Clippers win in 7.
I'm such a flip flop. I'm going Nuggets in 6. Whatever. I'm going Nuggets in 6. I still think Nuggets can go through in this one. Sorry, people. I know I changed my predictions quite a lot. I'm gonna go Nuggets in 6. I think Nuggets steal game 1 because you also mentioned the high altitude thing. It might be a factor. So we'll see. Yeah. Where do you want to go to next? I think we go to Rockets Warriors.
Yeah.
I think both teams match up very, very well.
Yeah.
I think both teams are very, very, very close. I agree with you, actually. I'm going to go Warriors in 6. I agree with you. I think Rockets will fall short. I think that they match up in terms of like size, in terms of scoring. Potentially, they might match up. I know the Rockets got the better of the Warriors this season, potentially in some games. But looking at the Warriors right now, looking at this team, they've definitely had an upwards turn in terms of like form with Jimmy Butler. The addition Butler has been a positive. I think he scored I don't know how many points he scored in the play-in game, but I think he scored like big points for the Warriors in that play-in game. Curry was clutch. Draymond Green's great on defense. Although the Rockets do have Şengün who can get the rebounds, who can get who can score. Jalen Green who's a good player. Is Amen Thompson back? Is he fit for the playoffs?
Let me check. If he is fit, that will be a bonus for them. That will make it a much more difficult game.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with the Warriors in 6. I think the Warriors are more experienced. I think they've been there, done it all.
Yeah,
The Rockets are still, kind of on a learning curve. Ime Udoka is a very, very good coach. Obviously, I know firsthand with the Boston Celtics. I've seen it all there, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Warriors will win in 6. I just think they're close to each other in terms of record and everything. But the
it's just the
Rockets,
experience. It's the experience.
yeah,
factor.
I think they match in size and whatnot. But I think the Warriors will get over the line in this one.
Yeah.
Warriors
Yeah.
in 6.
And they have the best player in the court in Steph Curry as well. It'll be
Yeah,
entertaining. It'll
that's
be an
true.
entertaining one. It'll probably go 6 or 7. Dylan Brooks versus Draymond Green will be fun. It's a fun little
Oh
matchup.
yeah.
So Savage v Savage. So who's gonna get the
Don't be
most
surprised.
texts?
Don't be surprised if a fight breaks out between them two.
Yeah, double text for them too. But the issue now with the Warriors having Jimmy Butler is you can't double
He
Steph.
adds more scoring.
Yeah, he adds inside scoring, which they didn't have. So if you double Steph, he's gonna get Jimmy on the inside, and if Jimmy gets going on the inside, it's long day. And playoff Jimmy is no joke. So yeah, they've got 2 guys that can score a lot. They've got as it's a Draymond Green defensive. It's gonna be a tough one. It can go either way. It's not gonna be like a washout. It's gonna be close games. It's gonna be tough matchups. It's gonna be a couple fights, couple scraps.
Yeah.
Both Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks trying to get into each other's players' heads, trying to get people teched out. But yeah, it's just going to be a very tough matchup. I think that's probably, for me, even it's the closest matchup, even considering they are so far away in terms of seeding. But it's a very tough matchup, and I like it. I think that's going to be an explosive series. I think that's going to go to Game 7, but Game 6 or 7. But I just think the Warriors just edge it.
I hear you. What's your prediction for Game 1 though? Prediction for Game 1 in terms of like the Rockets and the Warriors. I'm gonna go Rockets and I think Rockets will take Game 1 though.
Yeah, I think Rockets will take Game 1. Yeah, I think home court. That's why I think it will go maybe even to go to Game 7.
Yeah,
it'll be a home court thing all the way.
Possibly, but I'm gonna go Warriors in 7. So 6. Sorry, Warriors in 6. I think next we go Lakers Timberwolves. That's the next game we talk about. Or do you want to go Thunder Memphis? Even though because that's a bit like closer.
We'll do Thunder Memphis. To be honest, Thunder Memphis for me isn't close. I think that's going to be a sweep.
I think Thunder in 6, because I think the Grizzlies might have 2 games with them. They're a tough team, man. The Grizzlies are a tough team. They have Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane. They got some good shooters there. That's why the game against the Warriors was tight. It was tight first, and then and then they also had they have Zach Edey. They have some size there. Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a tough. It's gonna be tough to Well, it won't be a breeze. I don't think it'll be a breeze for the Thunder. I think it'll be Thunder in 6.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a sweep. Maybe in 5.
I think Thunder in 6. I think Grizzlies still have something to offer. Ja Morant's going to be a tough player to face. So, yeah, hopefully no pending investigations or whatnot, whatever it is with Ja Morant. But if there is, then no. But even if there isn't, I still got the Thunder going through. I think Thunder in 6, and the Thunder definitely have They definitely have the best team right now. Well, in terms of the NBA records, in terms of what the NBA record says, Shea, they have Jalen Williams, they have Chet Holmgren, they have Caruso. They've got some good players, man. They've got some very, very good players there, and they've also got what's his name again?
Lu Dort, Hartenstein as well.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Chet.
There's more. Chet. Yeah, I mentioned Chet Holmgren. But
Alex Caruso in the bench.
Yeah, Caruso.
Well.
I mentioned that as well.
Aaron
Isaiah.
Wiggins.
Oh, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. Yep, thank you.
The other
And
Williams, Jalen Williams. Yeah, so they got a good bench as well. So they got pieces.
they definitely do have pieces, and that's why I think the Thunder were going to go through. I think the Thunder are going to make the Western Conference Finals potentially. So yeah, people sleep on the Thunder this season. I think the Thunder definitely got a lot to offer. Like
I
this,
think
people say,
they're out in round 2, but I think they'll get past the Grizzlies easily. 4 or 5.
interesting. Let's go to obviously. Yeah, I'm going to go Thunder in 6. Obviously, you're going to go Thunder in 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
So assuming you say
can't-
Thunder win game 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I
definitely.
did Thunder win game 1 as well.
I think they blow them out in game 1.
Fair enough. And last but not least, Lakers Timberwolves. I think they're the clear favorites in this one, and I think that there's no reason for the Lakers not to lose any single game this round. But the Timberwolves might make it a bit tough in some games. I think that the Lakers might have to grind it out in some games, but I think there's no reason why the Lakers can't clutch up and win. I'm gonna go Lakers in 4 or 5. I think Lakers will sweep. I think Lakers will get the sweep. They've definitely got the much better team. They've definitely got the upper hand in terms of size, defense, like players. But I think Lakers in 4 or 5. I think one of them too. I think the Timberwolves might steal a game, but Lakers in 4. I think this is one of the easiest games to predict in my opinion. Like I think Timberwolves losing Karl Anthony Towns has definitely been a massive loss. I don't know why you trade away Karl Anthony Towns because they made the Western Conference Finals last year, and this team could have been NBA finalists this year possibly, and Anthony Edwards has been obviously one of the best players. They got Rudy Gobert, who's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. You still have a decent team, Nas Reed and all like that, but yeah, I don't see them beating the Lakers in a 7-game series. Lakers in 4 or 5. I can't decide between the two. I think maybe Lakers in 4. Yeah, I'll go Lakers in 4, or even actually, yeah, Lakers in 4 or 5. I still can't decide, but Lakers are going through, and Lakers win game 1. You saying the same?
Yeah, Lakers definitely win game 1. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. I hear it.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah, but that's all we have. That's all we have for round 1, I think.
I would say this. Anthony Edwards is going to show out. He's gonna do his, but I don't think he's got the backup
Supporting cast. The supporting cast,
to support him.
Yeah, I hear it.
And even though that Lakers don't really have a big like that, Luka and LeBron, yeah, it's a long day. It's a long day.
So it'll be closer than you think, but Lakers will still get over the line games. You know what I'm saying?
No, I just think Edwards will show out. I think he'll hit 30s,
Okay.
40s. It'll be like the Mavericks Grizzlies game where AD gets 40, but they still lose. That's what it's going to be. Edwards is going to get 45, 40. They're still going to lose because the other guys are going to get 0, nothing. Yeah, he's going to have to put that team on his back to even maybe get 1 game, and he might do that at home in Minnesota. But outside of that, yeah, man, he ain't really got the supporting cast to support him to be successful against the Lakers. And Lakers have the 2 best players on the court in LeBron and Luka.
Yeah.
So, and then you have Austin Reeves as their 3rd option, who's probably the 4th best player on the court. Probably better than everything outside of Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. So
yeah,
it's just too much firepower for them to deal with. Because if they try and stop LeBron, then they got Luka. If they try to stop Luka, then Austin Reeves can hit you with 30 as well. So it's just too much. Lakers are gonna be the team Lakers are a team that will struggle in the second round against a better team in terms of the Rockets or Warriors. But against the Timberwolves, no matchup. It's not a matchup. Even though they've got a close record, it's not really a good matchup for Minnesota.
So we agree on every single, apart from the Nuggets and the Clippers.
Yeah, I believe in Kawhi. I think the Clippers have potential to go all the way to the finals.
Fair enough. So the next round I predict would be Celtics versus Knicks, Bucks against the Cavs, Thunder versus Nuggets for me, and Lakers versus Warriors. For you, it's not. For you, it's the same apart from Thunder versus Clippers.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's get through the chat, anyways. But I got to see her unsubscribing. Hey, listen, bro, you can subscribe if you like, man. It's all good. I can get whoever I want on my channel, and I can talk about whatever I want on my channel. Like as long as it's sports related, and as long as it's appropriate to on the topic of discussion. But listen, if you want to unsubscribe, feel free to. It's free as well. But it's also free to subscribe people, so make sure you do subscribe anyways. Yo, what's good, Rasta, man? I'll definitely see you next week for the show if you're free. Scott from work, I'm listening. Fair enough, bro. Big up, man, every single time. Yep, the Splash Brothers, the Warriors team, that Warriors team back then, bro. Listen, we can go back in time, talk about NBA playoffs and whatnot, but as a Celtics fan myself, I don't have many great playoff memories apart from last year itself. But yeah, listen, I think we're gonna close out here. We're gonna wrap it up. King, thanks for hopping on, bro.
Wait, don't you want to finish what do you have all the way to the final, or do you want to leave that to next?
Do you want to do the playoff predictions now, or do you want to do the playoff? Or you want to do
or do do it round by round?
I think we should do round by round. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do round by round because you never know. We might get it wrong,
Yeah, because
especially with the Nuggets, Clippers.
Sometimes you gotta put your neck on the line, but sometimes you gotta put your neck on the line. Yeah.
Those 3 games in particular, Knicks, Pistons, Pacers, Bucks, Nuggets, Clippers, they could go either way. I don't really.
And Rockets, Warriors as well. You never know. You never know the Rockets. They could turn up.
I don't know. They're too young. I feel like they're too young for this Warriors. I think the Warriors are just going to be grizzled veterans and outsmart them. But those are the 4. But the Thunder, the Cavaliers, the Celtics, and the Lakers are.
Yeah, I agree. Those predictions for me are for me. They're kind of clear.
Yeah. Even though I like Memphis, it's just OKC got too much for them.
I just think that for me, I'd rather do round by round, even though sometimes you gotta put a neck on the line in certain situations. But for me, I'd rather do round. Sorry, again, I can't even talk. Sorry. I'd rather do round by round because do you know what it is? We need to do more shows on this NBA, so I would much rather have more topic of discussion to talk about. I'd rather do round by round. So we did first round preview. I think better to do round by round, how the NBA social media does it, and like they do live Instagram, like they do live Twitter talks about round by round, game by game preview. So yeah, and what do you say about the Lakers Timberwolves first game? I say Lakers win game 1, obviously.
Yeah,
as well.
Lakers win. You know what the funny thing about the playoffs is, and this is the thing that could change everything, is that any of these teams get an injury to a star player,
it could change everything.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
Changes everything. So I could believe in the Clippers, but if Kawhi goes down, it's done. If Jokic goes down, it's done for the Nuggets. If Shea goes down for Thunder, they're not even making it past the Memphis, because of how reliant they're on him. It's like there are teams that don't really have great second options.
He's got to get the MVP. He has to be the MVP. He has to be.
I think he'll get it. He'll get it, even though I think Jokic is my MVP. But because of the record, because of number 1 in the West, especially how strong the West is, like look at the matchups outside of Lakers Timberwolves. We're saying that any of those matchups could be even Lakers Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards shows up. Maybe the Lakers maybe lose LeBron halfway through, or Luka doesn't show up. You never know. You never know with these matchups, because especially the West is much harder to predict than the East matchups for me. I think the teams are better in the West as well. Look at the records; they all got winning records. Yeah.
The only teams that have 60 wins are the Celtics, Cavs, and the Thunder. That's it.
Yeah.
So these 3 teams have smoked the NBA this season. So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's all we have for today. I think we're gonna close out here. We'll wrap it up. We're gonna be back for games for the game 2 predictions as well. So
yeah.
So I'll see you for the next show. We'll recap the first game. So the first games that happen, every single not every single game, but like every single so whichever team goes 1-0 up first, the first set of first round games. we'll review that and then we'll talk about the next game. So, but yeah, and we'll kind of give an insight of what we think of the playoffs and what we think of every team so far. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that's good. I'll be there.
Yeah, people, like I said, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Go to AN Sports on YouTube. We are closing in on 190 subs, but make sure you guys do subscribe. I'm currently on 186 subscribers. Make sure you guys do hit the like button and subscribe. We're here. King's been here since morning for talking playoffs, talking basketball. He's been here. He woke up early to talk. So make sure you guys do go check his channel out. I've left the link in the title. Let him know what you got coming up, bro. Let him know what you got coming up, and
it's WrestleMania season, so hoping to do a WrestleMania preview at some point today. And what else? Oh yeah, on this channel we're gonna have the Formula One coming up. So if you're a Formula One fan,
I will see you tonight.
Yeah,
I will see you tonight.
Got that as well. So qualifying review and then the race preview as well. I think it's the third of a back-to-back. So, interesting so far in terms of the weekend for sports. And that's pretty much it. I'm not really going to talk about football because my team is absolutely terrible when it comes to Chelsea.
Don't blame you. But
yeah, I'm here for NBA and Formula One.
Football was cool though. I mean, you can't lie. The European games were mad. And
your one was mad. Your one against Leon was mad.
I was celebrating, bro, the Maguire goal. I was like, Kobe, get back to the halfway line. What are you doing? We stopped celebrating, and Maguire scores minutes later. We have to win this Europa League now. We have to win it now. We have to.
Yeah, it's a must.
It's a must win now for us. But yeah, we are gonna close out, people. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Head to AN Sports on YouTube, and head to AFA Academy on so I said it right. AF Academy on 93 on
African
YouTube.
Academy. Yeah.
Yep. Make sure you guys check our channel out and check our channel out as well. Check my channel out. Sorry.
It's just WWE live streams at the moment, but
F1's gonna be tonight. F1's gonna be tonight. I'll try and get some other people on as well with King. So I'll see you guys tonight for the F1 show. Like, share, subscribe. We're out. Take care. Peace.